All right, so I am inserting the brass tube into my wood blank. You can see that the hole is already drilled out. What I have here is I have a piece of scrap paper. It's a test paper from our printer. I have the tube, I have the wood that I'm putting the tube into. I have a pencil that has been beat up. I'm using that to push the tube through first to make sure that the tube fits nicely. One of the common mistakes that I've seen made is one of the common mistakes that I have made, I should say, is that I will get the tube in and then the CA has set and my tube looks like this. Usually it looks like that. Just enough sticking out that it is worthless to me. So I want to make sure that the tube slides in and out very nicely before I get too far along, so that I minimize the chances of that happening. All right, I use Stickfast CA. This is thin. Thin is not always the greatest for securing the tube. If you have a medium or a thick, that can often be better. I am out of those right now, so I'm using thin, and I will make do with that. You will notice that my cap is all bead up, and there's a line right there. Here's a little trick I have learned to make this job a little bit easier. I put the cap down, and you will notice that the tube fits right on the cap. If you have gloves and you don't like the feel of CA on your fingers, I would recommend wearing gloves. If you don't mind the feel of CA on your fingers, I usually don't wear gloves, but maybe I should. All right, so what I do is I put some CA on the tube. See how I've got my scrap paper down so I don't ruin my table. Then I pick which side of the blank I like more. This side I don't want to use, so I want this side to go in first. I'm going to push the tube in and push down. The tube is nicely inserted. Now I let the CA dry, cure, before I turn it. You will notice that, I don't know if you can see, the tube is way down in there. See that? So when before I turn it, I want to get some of this wood out of the way, either on a saw, cut some of it off. Ultimately, though, that's what the bushings are for. They're going to line it up. You want the bushings to be flush on each side of the tube, so it's going to be probably about right there that I can cut, and then I'll play it by ear as I have it on the lathe, and then it's going to be about right there. So depending on how much is left over, sometimes I'll turn it a little bit and then get my Dremel out and get it out. Some people like to use a belt sander. It's all up to personal choice, but I usually use the Dremel once I get it the blank trimmed down to like there, because then it's a lot easier. All right, that's all I've got for you today. I hope this was helpful. I hope it was informative. Take care. Until next time, this is Matt with Kerfuffle Pens.